guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Today is our weekend episode, and today we are not talking about food, not about nutrition, not about supplements, not about weight loss and fat loss, not about even anything related to healthy lifestyle or fitness or food. We are talking about freedom lifestyle, or a lifestyle of digital nomad or a digital entrepreneur with location independent business setup. That's what I've been doing actually for quite a while now, even though not perfectly, even though with its own challenges, even though with my own stumbling blocks, because our world is not exactly designed for location-independent living. And when you say you're a digital nomad or you live nowhere but everywhere, people look at you like you're some kind of really weird person. So that happens a lot to me. And I'm often asked this question, so where is your home? And when I say I'm officially homeless, but I have a place to stay every single night, I get even more weird looks. Anyhow, so today's fascinating chat with Ignacio, who is an officially digital nomad. Born in Murcia, Spain in 1980s, Ignacio is a micropreneur and digital nomad. And if you have no idea what those things mean, stay tuned and you're gonna find out. Frequently traveling through Europe, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. He's the founder of 2 Estonian companies that he manages online. Digital Lives and Your Company in Estonia. And he's from Spain, guys. He's not from Estonia. He's also the author of the blog Micropreneur Life. And through Multi-Potential Light, you also find out what that means. He's also a senior freelancer, developer, composer, and frequent writer on the topic of location-independent living, the e-residency program of Estonia, and remote work. And yours truly, guys, I'm also digital resident of Estonia, and you'll find out more details about why I am a digital citizen of Estonia, what it all means, and why you might also want to consider digital citizenship or residency, not citizenship, digital residency in Estonia. For once, it allows you to actually have a location independent existence where you choose where you live, where your company is, where your clients are, and who you pay taxes to. Those things are still in development. E-residency in Estonia is the first program of its kind, and it's not without its own challenges, because that's just the beginning of future where we are truly free and we are truly global citizens. So if you are considering being location independent, if living and a lifelong traveling seems like an appealing idea to you, if most of what you do is online anyhow, and you'd like to find a way how to manage it all online so you don't have to be in any particular space at any time. So tune in. We're talking about taxes, about remote health insurance and pension. We are talking about how to set up your digital business in Estonia, how tax system works, like how you don't have to pay taxes in a lot of other countries if you don't live there. A lot of details, a lot of cool stuff, futuristic stuff, because I truly believe that's the future for most of us, where we live in different places at different times in our life, where we work can be different from where we live, again, where we pay taxes to whoever we decide to pay taxes to, and where we are truly free. That's the future. And so this is the beginning of this future. Tune in. Check out the links in the show notes where you're going to find the links to Ignacio's blog, to his company that helps people like me, maybe like you also, to establish their company in Estonia without having to dig deeper into all these tax details and all that other stuff that I don't really like that much, as you'll find out from our conversation. So stay tuned for this chat and plan your free future with us. And as usual, till next time, guys, still eat better daily. And where are you now as a digital nomad?
Yes, right now I'm in Croatia, in Rijeka, in the city of Rijeka. It's a very nice place.
What are you up to there, if it's not a secret project?
Oh no, yes, we're going to spend here 3 months, kind of fleeing from the European winter. We decided between going to Southeast Asia or staying in Europe, and finally we decided to stay in Europe, but in the south of Europe.
Yeah, how warm it is there now?
Well, right now it's a beautiful sunny day, and the temperature is 21 degrees, so it's kind of it's similar to the south of Spain where I am from, actually.
Okay, yeah, nice weather. Where I am right now, it's -3.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
No, that's an amazing world. I'm actually leaving in 5 days, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna experience winter a little bit, and then I'm gonna go.
That's good.
So, tell our listeners, Ignacio, yeah, first of all, thank you for agreeing to do this podcast. I know your time is precious and we all are busy, but you agreed to do it. So, thank you very much. I know that listeners will learn a lot from you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. You're a digital nomad, also the word that I can hardly pronounce, multi-potentialite or something like that. And then also solopreneur, and you have 2 companies, and you blog and do probably a lot of other things. So yeah, tell what it all means and what your life looks like.
Well, the term multipotentialite was coined by Emily Wapnick. She's a very smart woman that it's for people like me who do a lot of different things or are not happy with the idea of doing just one thing for the rest of their lives. There are people who say, I'm a doctor or I'm a developer, and that's their goal in life, and that's okay, that's perfectly fine. But there are people like me who get bored about one thing easily, so we need to work on different things. So during my life, I've done from development, I've been a composer, I've done lots of different things. I've been an employee for the government. I've been a writer, a blogger. So that's I enjoy doing all these things, and that's why I love traveling and being able to work on what I like at the moment.
Yeah, I actually learned about Emily's work, I don't know, like maybe 5 years ago or something, and I totally can relate to that. I also am a kind of person who gets bored often, so I try many things and I work on many things, and it's best for me to work on project instead of like choosing lifelong career.
That's good.
So what about, a lot of people actually ask me, what is a digital nomad, when I also introduce myself as one. So can you tell our listeners what exactly it means?
Well, the term has been like abused on Instagram. These people who, I don't know, take a year sabbatical or decide to travel for some months and then start like publishing pictures on Instagram. But oh, look, I'm a digital nomad. But for me, a truly digital nomad is someone who does not expect to come back home because you don't have a home to come back to. It's like people who enjoy traveling without a steady home, and for me, it's at least it's been like an amazing experience. I've been traveling for years now, and it has allowed me to meet different people, know different culture, discover amazing places, and so it's like a lifestyle choice. As any other lifestyle choice, it has its pros and cons. It's not for everybody, but for me, it's been like a wonderful experience.
And where, like, how long do you usually stay in one place? Do you have any specific like time frame that you prefer to stay in one place, or you just, do what feels like?
Well, we don't have like a schedule or anything like that, or a common time frame. We usually stay between 2 and 3 months, usually because we are slow travelers. We don't like to travel fast because we like to really get to know the culture of the places we visit. So for us, the right time it's about 2 or 3 months. Enough time to get to know the place, but not enough time to fall in love too much with the place and decide to stay there.
Yeah, totally can relate to that. Right now I'm actually in my hometown, but I'm about to start another um, traveling experience for I don't know how many years or months. We'll see. Uh, and that's why I actually established. Well, I got my digital residency in Estonia, and
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. It was actually a month and a half ago, and
Mhm.
I posted some stories on my Instagram, and a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs asked me about this experience and what it's all about. So, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about Digital Estonia and what it allows people like us or somebody who wants to have similar lifestyle to do? What's like Digital Estonia is all about?
Oh, sure. Well, Estonia got their independence from the former Soviet Union in the 19th, at the beginning of the 19th. So at the beginning, they were a very small country. So their way of, integrating into Europe and giving like launching their economy was to digitalize every aspect of their society. So they started like digitalizing everything, and it come to a point where all the everything that a citizen needed to do with the government, etc., they could do it online. And the last step of this digitalization process was offering this digital residence or e-residence program, where any citizen from the world can open this kind of digital identity with the Estonian government. They get a card with a cryptographic identity issued by the Estonian government, and this allows them to do certain things, like, for instance, open a company in Estonia without ever visiting the country, which is probably the most appealing thing of all this program.
Yeah, totally. That's actually was probably the main reason why I decided to become digital residents of Estonia. And so at this point, I became a resident, but I have like I'm still figuring out how it's best, to open the company, and it's like the topic that interests the most people that I talk to who ask me questions. Like, what's the easiest process to open up a company, and also what's really important to set up your bank account and have payment solutions. Does the tools, the services in Digital Estonia, you know, other services
Mhm.
that make it easy?
Yes, well, the Estonian government has done an incredible job to make sure that people from all around the world can do this completely online. And of course, there's always some friction points, but they've done an excellent work. So the idea is that you can open the company online, you can open it by yourself or using a service business provider. And what's the difference? A business service provider one of my companies, your company in Estonia, will actually help you if you are not very business savvy. For instance, when I opened my first company, I had no idea about business, what was a shareholder or the difference between a shareholder and a board member. I was completely ignorant about all these terms. So for me, it was a lot easier to use a business service provider. But the nice thing about Estonia and this e-residency program is that you can do it on your own. You can do it yourself if you are really business savvy and want to do it. The system is completely transparent, and you can go to the website of the company registration portal of Estonia and do it yourself. It's a bit dated. It's not like signing up for Netflix. It's a bit yes, exactly. But you can do it, and that's the nice thing about it. But most people prefer actually to use a business service provider.
Yeah, by the way, I'm in the process of finishing your book, and I must say it offers a lot of good quality, specific information about all these things, what are like shareholders and what all these, terms mean and what kind of companies you can open, like in different payment solution and opening bank accounts. So it's a great book that I'm going to link in the show notes. I wanted to ask you more specifically, about your company also, your company in Estonia. Like, for example, if I'm a complete newbie and I decide to open a company in Estonia, so when I reach out to your company, so do you do everything like including, I don't know, setting up company and accounting, and so I don't have to do a lot of stuff except like my work. Let's say I'm a solopreneur, I don't have this like complex company structure, but more like similar to freelancing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea. Even if Estonia makes things easier from, I don't know, creating the company to do online banking with online banks, there's still some knowledge that you need to have, and a lot of hassle, setting up an accountant, what is VAT, taxes, do I need a VAT number? There are lots of different small details that you need to know. And then that's why I decided to open this business provider, your company in Estonia, to help entrepreneurs who were just like me when I started. I started as a freelancer, so I didn't actually care about all this business stuff. All I wanted to do was work in the stuff I love, have my customers, work for them in the things that I really love, and not care about invoices and VAT and all this stuff. So that's why I decided to do it for this kind of people who really want to work on what they love, but they don't want to bother about all the business small details.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm probably gonna become your customer soon, because I really don't like to. No, I just don't like to get into all this stuff.
Like it feels like a waste of my time because I just truly want to enjoy it. And so yeah, it's amazing. And just to make it clear for people don't have to like go to Estonia ever if they don't want to, right?
No. The company registration can be done online, and then your accountants or service provider takes care of your accountancy for you without you ever needing to visit the country. Actually, Estonians prefer online communication.
They created Skype just for that, so it's perfectly okay for them. And the only time when you will need to go to Estonia, it's if you want to have a traditional Estonian bank for your company, which is an option, open a bank account in LHB or any of the Estonian banks. You need to go there once to get a face-to-face meeting with one bank representative, for these anti-money laundering protocols. But you can open a bank account in any online bank like TransferWise, Revolut Business, Holby. There are lots of solutions for e-residents, and you can do the whole process completely online without ever visiting Estonia.
And do you help people to do that too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's super convenient for for digital nomads, because if you are traveling through Southeast Asia, for instance, it's not traveling to Estonia is quite expensive.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people, of course, are curious about taxes. Actually, a lot of people are also interested in digital residency and company in Estonia, because they're not, like, for example, myself, I'm not so sure of my company, like the taxes and government policies, all of this is a little bit like shady and really not stable in my country and in many other countries. So a lot of people are curious about, tax system and how much taxes they're gonna pay, and is it complicated or not? Like, can you explain it in simple, I don't know, terms, like what tax system of a company in Estonia gonna look like for someone?
Sure. Well, first of all, it's necessary to state that Estonia is not a tax haven. It's a very reputable European country, so it's not. If you're looking for an offshore, environment for your company, that's not the place to go. It's like there are places like Hong Kong or Singapore where you can do this kind of stuff. But even if they are not a tax haven, they have a very, very smart taxation system in which the taxes are only paid for a company when the profit is distributed. What does this mean? That you don't pay while you are earning money. You start operating and charging your customers. You earn money from them, and you don't pay a single euro in taxes. You only pay taxes if you assign yourself a salary or dividends, and that's very small because it allows a new business to start gaining traction soon and getting customers, being paid without worrying about paying a lot of taxes at the beginning, who will kill your business. And then when you really start to assign yourself a salary, distributing dividends, when you have a lot of profit, it's when they charge you. And the good thing for digital nomads is that the amount of if you're traveling and you don't live in Estonia, the amount of taxes that you pay for the salaries and dividends is very small because only a small fraction of this profit is taxed in Estonia. So it's around for salaries it can be very little. Only 20% of your salary or even less is taxed in Estonia. So that's very convenient for digital nomads.
Mm-hmm. And you know what and you also help people with that too, right? You like do proper tax. I don't know what you would call it.
Tax reports and all that boring stuff.
You know what I also learned that I was really curious about is that rule that applies to a lot of countries, for Russia actually too, 183 days. So basically, if you don't stay in a country for 183 days and you don't have, company there or anything, you don't have to pay taxes at all there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the nice thing for digital nomads. Most countries, with the exception of the US, and most civilized countries, with the exception of the US, apply a residence taxation system, meaning that you pay taxes in the country where you spend most of the year. Most of the year is 6 months and 1 day, which happens to be 183 days. And then if you don't spend that amount of money in any given country, no country can claim that you have a permanent establishment there or you live there. So you're not supposed to pay taxes anywhere. There are certain details, like if your wife or husband or children live in one country, probably the tax office will say, okay, but you live in this country because your children live there. But generally speaking, that's the rule. So that's very good for digital nomads.
Yeah, and the only thing I couldn't quite understand is the detail about breach country. I don't think I really understood the concept. Like for me, as I understand it, if I don't stay in my home country, for example, Russia, for more than half a year, then I don't have to pay my taxes in Russia. Obviously, if my company is outside Russia, and as I understand, I don't have to pay taxes in any country, like my personal taxes, as long as I don't stay there more than half a year.
Yes, the idea is that some countries, probably not Russia, but especially European countries like Germany or Spain, France, Italy, especially southern European countries, have this rule in which if they don't know where you are residing or you are not telling them where you live, they will suppose, or de facto, they will think that you live there. So you need this bridge country concept, which is if you want to stop being a tax resident of your country. Imagine myself, I was living in Spain, so I was considered a tax resident in Spain. Then I want to become a digital nomad, so I cannot simply, well, I could simply travel somewhere else and then stay there, etc. The law is on my side. If I don't stay in Spain, I'm not a tax resident there. But to make things right and make sure you don't have trouble with the local tax agency of your country, it's better to go to a bridge country, which is a country where you can stay like 6 months or more. And then you need to talk to the tax authorities of your country, like the tax office or all that stuff, and say, okay, guys, I'm going to blah, 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 say, I don't know, Germany, for example, and I'm going to live there. So you get to Germany, you go to your embassy, the Spanish embassy in Germany, and you say, hello, I'm going to live here for long term. I don't know how much time. So you spend there some time there. The German authorities know that you're living there. They talk back with the Spanish authorities. Everyone knows that you're in Germany. So after some time, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, you leave Germany, and then you say to the German authorities, okay, guys, I'm leaving, but you don't tell them where you are going because they don't care. For them, you're just a long-term tourist. It's not your home country. And at that precise moment, Spain knows that you went to live to Germany, and Germany knows that you went to live somewhere else. But Spain has no idea where you're living right now. And at that moment, they don't consider you a de facto tax resident in Spain anymore. So that's why you need this kind of trick. Not in all countries, but in most South European countries, yes.
Okay, I see, I understand. I'm not even actually sure about exactly how it works in Russia, so I'm gonna to figure that out before going. But yeah, it was I learned a lot from your book just about this different tax rules and tax systems and whether I have to pay taxes or I don't have to pay taxes. So it's really great, practical book. Loved it. So thank you for writing it.
Thank you for your words. I really appreciate it.
Sure. And what else do you think is important for people like myself to know, or for people who are thinking about embracing this digital nomad lifestyle? What do you think is important for people to know, and also maybe what's important to know about Digital Estonia as a project, like what people can do or can't do?
Oh, well, it's important that, regarding Estonia and having a company in Estonia, it's important to clarify that it's mostly or designed for digital businesses. So if you have a restaurant in France, probably you need a company in France. You cannot use the residency program. So it's good for people like, that the business environment or the business scope is changing, and the business of today are super diverse, are things that didn't exist 10, 20 years ago, like YouTubers, Instagrammers, crypto traders, bloggers. There's a lot of exciting new businesses that are perfect for Estonia, because Estonia understands this digital future of the business that's coming. And the business of the future in 10, 20 years, we will see new businesses that don't exist today. So that's nice. If you are into this kind of businesses, digital, and your future is digital, Estonia is the best place for you. And regarding digital nomads, what it gives you is freedom, because I tried to have a company in Spain when I was traveling, and it was a complete disaster. I needed to go there from time to time, even visit a governmental office or visit the accountant, or why do I have to go to the tax office? It was completely terrible. So for me, the main appeal of the residency program is the freedom that you get. You can travel, your business travels with you, you are free to roam around, and you don't need to explain them, oh, but I'm now living in Chiang Mai, but next month I will be living in Bali. And that's so weird. In Spain, I needed to go to the embassy when I got to Bali, and the embassy is in Jakarta, which is a 2-hour flight, just to fill in a form. And it was so Wow.
I can imagine.
So for me, it's really about freedom. It's not for everyone. There are people who are perfectly happy living in their home countries, and that's perfectly fine. But if you are striving for this kind of freedom and you want to travel the world, you want to grow a business, I will give it a try, or at least read something about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, it's like perfect lifestyle where you don't have to be in any particular place and you can choose to live anywhere you want.
Mhm.
I don't know, that's amazing, I believe. Also, I actually remembered about one detail that I wanted to mention because I mean, we all can get sick, sometimes, or have an accident or something. So, like insurance, health insurance, is important for a lot of us. Like, so what's the solution for someone, who is a digital nomad for that? And also, you mentioned in the book pensions. So, are there any solutions that Digital Estonia offers, or maybe some other companies or parties that you know of?
Yeah, well, right now there's a very interesting discussion in Estonia, and I think it's really amazing that they are discussing this about offering to e-residents the same or some rights that citizens have in exchange for taxes. So the idea will be that even if you are a digital nomad and you travel, you will get access to a pension scheme or social security. But that's the future. But it's super interesting that they are discussing about it. It's super straightforward looking. But for now, if you're a digital nomad, you need to take care of your healthcare and your pension. For the healthcare insurance, there are private companies. There are two kind of companies. There are companies like primary healthcare solutions, private, with like a Sigma or similar, that are very expensive, but they cover you everything. Like, I don't know, from the war situation, you have like a cancer or something like that, you are covered, and you can get this insurance around the world. Only they're very expensive. Like, we're talking about 300, 400 euros a month, or around that amount. So if you're looking for a cheaper solution and you don't have this urge of I'm gonna have like a serious illness, like if it's for everyday illnesses, like I got a cold, or I broke my leg and I need to go to the doctor, there are in between solution which is very cool. It's called a safety wing, and they have it's like a travel, it's kind of a mix between a travel insurance, but that you can use for normal stuff, like I'm coughing and I need to go
Yeah.
to the doctor. Not a life or death situation, but I need to go to the doctor, and it's very very cheap, which is quite good. They don't cover things like cancer or serious illnesses, but or chronic diseases, but for normal health insurance, I will recommend that.
Okay, cool.
And you mentioned the pension scheme. Sorry, about pension. This is more difficult. No pension scheme exists currently for digital nomads, which is an excellent business opportunity, if you ask me. But what I do is I will recommend you a talk from Johnny Vicky from if you know him from Chiang Mai. He's a very cool digital nomad, been traveling for a long time, and he recommends to invest in things that will cover your pension or your retirement at an old age. I myself, I invest in cryptocurrencies, and I invest in things like Mintos. There's a platform called Mintos, and it's quite cool. And it's like there are platforms that allow you to invest money, and it's all about investing. Thinking of it as you will think of a pension plan, like investing every month a little bit. Make sure you get something for your retirement.
Yeah, I mean, I totally on board with this concept to invest and to create things of value that bring you money on a consistent basis throughout your whole life, like building, a great company that's gonna bring you money whether you work or you don't work. So, and investing, yeah, those are great strategies. I consider them actually much better than pension because government are not that stable, like most of the governments at least.
Just you know that most people I know from Spain, they don't believe that the Spain government is able to guarantee the pensions when they are 60 something or 70. So it's actually happening, and the people don't trust their governments can provide them with a pension anymore.
Yeah, same in Russia, even what they provide right now is actually, you can't really live on it, or your life is going to be really miserable. So yeah, that's just something we all need to think about while we are still young, to take care of our better future or better retirement.
Exactly. No, and I think as entrepreneurs, it's I think all of us look for ways to generate passive income and ways of getting these investments that will actually grant us a better pension that we will get from a 9 to 5 job, at least in Spain. That's my experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally on board with that. And probably the last question, Ignacio. So, if people want to, open a company in digital Estonia with you, do you provide at first like some sort of maybe consultation so people actually understand whether it's for them or not for them, and what the whole process will look like for them?
Yes, sure. They can contact us, and we can actually we have a lot of information on the website. I frequently asked question section, and we have people there to answer every question. So don't be afraid and ask, because at least you can consider if it's the right thing for you or not.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend to people who are considering that either long term or as an experiment to see whether that's their long term life solution. So, thanks again, Ignacio, for all this information. That's going to be useful for a lot of people, I'm sure of it, because a lot of people listening to this podcast are either digital entrepreneurship minded or aspire to be digital entrepreneurs, freelancers, and coaches, all kinds of digitized professions.
Exactly. Well, thank you so very much for having me. It's been a real pleasure. And anything I can do I'm always trying to promote the residency program and the digital nomad lifestyle, because, for me, it was such a game changer in my life that I'm super happy to talk about it.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. I make sure that all the links, all the ways that how people can reach out and contact you will be in the show notes. And also, let me know what's the best way for people to reach out, like maybe some email or social media, like where you're the most active.
Well, I'm not active on social media. Actually, I don't have any social media account. That's shocking. But they can, if they go to Micropreneur Life, they have a contact form there, and they can reach me out there. And also for people interested in a company in Estonia, we have yourcompanyinestonia.com, and also a new shiny Russian version, yourcompanyinestonia.ru.
Oh,
And
cool.
we have people, we have people speaking in Russian and attending every question. So don't hesitate to send us a message.
Nice, sure. I sure will do. Do you have a lot of, by the way, do you have a lot of people from Russia contacted you?
Yes. I think there's a lot of interest in Russia and Russian-speaking countries like, I don't know, Ukraine and all this stuff, and Belarus also.
Yeah. Probably because, as I said, like our business environment here not exactly friendly or stable.
Yeah, no, the same in the south of Europe, believe me.
Yeah. Okay, Ignacio, I'm going to be mindful of your time, and thank you again for all the information, for all the work that you do to make this digital nomad free lifestyle easier for people. Thank you.
Thank you very much.